Feature time. Oh, off, mate. Look, if you want to sit here and pour your scorn, you can do that, but just do it in your head, alright?
Just the time.
Better not.
Just the time. Just the fact that you just started. Just in it.
Seriously, the longer you delay us, the longer we're going to stay here.
No pizza for you, mate.
Okay.
You're listening to the official Push Square podcast featuring Ben and Ben. Do you push square?
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 12 of the Push Square podcast. My name is Ben Potter. I am the podcast editor for the best PlayStation website on the internet, and joining me for the first time in a hosting responsible role is Associate Editor Robert Ramsey. Hello Robert.
Hello Ben.
You're actually here.
Yes.
We're in the same room.
In person. In the flesh.
Yes, but I don't know what else would be there instead of in the flesh. But Ben Tarrant is on holiday. He's betrayed us all, really. I think he's given up on his dream to be a podcast co-host. It lasted 11 weeks. R.I.P. I don't think he's coming back.
Bye, Ben.
Or he might be back later on, maybe.
Well, yeah.
We'll see. So we're going to follow the normal sort of outline of the show that we usually do. We've got the news coming up. We've got a feature coming up. The big review this week, as you might expect, is No Man's Sky. We've got Stephen Tailby on to talk about that. And even though I said he wouldn't be returning, Ben Tarrant is calling in.
That was fast.
From a different country. It lasted 2 minutes, less than that. He's calling in from a different country to talk about Hyper Light Drifter, because that is Indie Bin this week. Then we've got some questions, what we're playing, and then we are going to ride off into the sunset.
Hey,
That sound alright with you?
That sounds good.
Sounds alright? Cool. Alright, well let's get started with the news. First up, Robert.
Yep.
Sony has officially, finally confirmed that the PS4K may or may not be a real thing, and it may or may not be unveiled, but it will be on the 7th of September.
Yeah.
Now, this also coincides with their PlayStation meeting.
Yes.
Is this This is different, right, from the PlayStation experience thing they usually run?
Yeah, because the PlayStation experience is usually near the end of the year, isn't it? December.
Yeah.
So
this is like a one-off special.
This is exactly what they did with the PlayStation 4 unveiling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I can't even remember
PlayStation meeting, and they just said, "Here we go. We're gonna go to New York." I think it's the same venue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because they bought a venue, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like a special PlayStation venue. They got their little stickers.
Home
on it
of
and stuff.
PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's quite exciting because we know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
It's a supercharged PS4, but
Yeah.
whether it's we don't know the concrete details.
Mm-hmm. And what are your thoughts on the PS4K in general? Like, do you think that's a good thing? Is it something that interests you?
I think what it does interest is if I can run Fallout 4 with 30 FPS, I think that would be a dream come true. But
that's a pipe dream, regardless of the quality of your console.
I think the interesting thing about it is how Sony's actually going to handle revealing it and marketing it, because at the end of the day they're going to have to convince people who already have a PS4 that it's fine, you can still use your PS4 if you don't want this, you don't have to upgrade.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some reassuring.
Yeah, at the same time they've got to make it seem attractive.
Do you think Andrew House is just going to come out and like crotch chop and just like, here's your game, here's your console, you idiots?
Yes, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Do you think they'll be doing a lot of VR talk there as well? Do you reckon it'll be...
It depends, I mean...
Be the best place to play?
It depends how long they're going to do it. I mean, I imagine it's going to be at least an hour.
Yeah.
I assume it's all just going to be focused on PS4K or Neo.
You would have thought so.
And they'll probably show off a couple of games, try and explain what it does, what it can do, etc.
This one's got a K on the box,
Yep.
and for that reason, it costs £1,000 more. And you'll be in a very special club.
I imagine they'll drop the price of the PS4, and this will retail at the $399.
I should hope so. They should
imagine,
definitely drop the price. Andrew House will come round for tea if you buy one as well. Every single person who buys one. Andrew House will come to your house for dinner. So that's that on the 7th of September. Then, Inside.
Yep.
Now, this is the new game from Limbo Studio, Playdead, which has been reviewed extremely well on Xbox One.
It was, yes.
And now with Limbo, we had to wait bloody ages before
Yep.
we got it on PS3.
It was like a couple of years, wasn't it?
Yeah, really long time. So we were expecting a lengthy delay here as well, but that's not the case. 23rd of August, which is next week.
Yep.
It's pretty goddamn fast. Are you going to get it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it did get really good reviews, but I'm not a massive
Are you not?
indie platformer. Not at all. No.
Just, you must love...
Sadly.
You must love PlayStation Plus then more than anyone else. It's your favourite thing. No Man's Sky obviously was it this week that was released?
Yes. Yeah, this week.
There have been a few issues, you might say a backlash over the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah, it's been divisive, hasn't it?
We can't work out whether or not Sean Murray has lied to us, or whether or
Him
not
and
he
his
was
beard.
He was him and his beard. You can't trust
Get
him.
a shave, Sean. Yes, we sit here with we've both got beard.
What? How many more lies has he got hiding in that beard?
Like a nest.
Just a nest of lies on the face of Sean Murray. That's something that Barker needs to put in the title of an article.
You'll whip something about that, I'm sure.
His face nest.
Yep.
Yeah, so we at the moment, I think it all kicked off with two players managing to land on exactly the same planet.
Yep, on Twitch.
Go to exactly the same place.
Yep.
And not see each other.
Yeah.
Now, Sean Murray waved this away as being server issues.
Yes.
And if that's the case, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But he has been so unclear about how the multiplayer works, and no one has been able to work out whether or not it's because he's trying to be a bit mysterious, I'm a bit of a developy wizard like Ken Levine and Hideo Kojima, and I deserve to be a bit of a special snowflake and I can get away with this stuff.
No.
Or if he was actually just trying to explain away these issues that he doesn't want to confront because there is no multiplayer and he just wants to sell his game.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing with No Man's Sky, isn't it? From day one, it's been vague. You've still got people asking, right, we get emails asking what's it actually about, even though we've written about 5 articles on it.
Yeah, I saw that. Here's what you do in No Man's Sky. I saw that article.
On the official No Man's Sky blog, written by Sean Murray himself as well, like, what do you do in No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
That was the title.
You go to the centre of the universe.
But
Why?
why Sean?
Why? The review currently, as we're talking, hasn't actually been published yet, has it, on Pushsquare? So we are getting Stephen Tailby, who is reviewing it, on early to discuss his thoughts. Sammy put up an article about why it's the most disappointing game of 2016.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't played it, but there seems to be...
I've heard it elsewhere as well, it's not just Sammy.
Yeah, it's not just Sammy. And, I mean, I know Jim Sterling's website, was it DDoSed or something?
Yeah,
that was taken still down, which is just infantile and babyish, and people should be allowed to not like things, especially video games. They're f***ing video games. But then, people found on the special edition of the No Man's Sky boxes, there was a sticker over the ESRB rating.
Yeah.
And if you peeled it off, there was a little thing originally
PSN functionality
that mentioned multiplayer. Yeah, as part of the rating. And again, Sony have come out and explained that away as, it was a printing error.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a printing error implies that there was a reason it should have been on the box in the first place. That doesn't explain anything.
I mean, it could just be that whoever designed it's cocked up at the end of the day, but at the same time, like you say,
it doesn't help.
No, it definitely doesn't help, especially with a game like No Man's Sky.
It's going to be interesting to see if people are still playing it after a couple of weeks.
I want to see, because we published a poll like just the other day saying, what do you think? What do you think? How long have you spent on it, and what do you think of it? And like, I think the vast majority say that it's either very good or it's truly amazing. And which disgusted Sammy, by the way.
Did it? Made him feel sick.
But I think we could do another one of those about a month down the line and see what people say.
Okay, guys, enough of the BS.
Enough of your
Let's get down to brass tacks. How bad is it? No, really. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a fine game, and it's really impressive. And people who are enjoying it, I'm very, very happy.
Well done.
You. Well done.
Well done.
Well done for finding some enjoyment in that barren waste of a game. Stephen Tailby will be on later to talk about why it's good. And
hopefully.
We'll see.
That's why everybody's just slagging off on
We'll see. We can't. Just negativity everywhere. Next up, Batman, the Telltale series. First episode went up.
Yep.
The other day. And it's the first one to have multiplayer, which I think is a really interesting decision. The way they've implemented it is that you get sort of a unique URL that you can share with people.
Yeah, something like that.
And they can, as they watch, they can vote on which decisions you should make,
Yeah.
which I think is brilliant.
It's a nice social feature.
And I think they should do that more. I think they should introduce that with the other games as well.
I mean, that's the thing with Telltale games. You could play them as a group. You know, you could have people around and sit on your sofa and kind of play them and just kind of see how it goes.
That's how I want to play Until Dawn. Is get 4 or 5 people around and just get absolutely wasted. And
I remember when game trailers was still a thing.
Oh.
And they all had they grouped together and played a marathon of Until Dawn the whole way through, and it was like about 9 of them together, and that was actually it was a really fun watch because they were they assigned different characters to different people.
Oh, really?
So it was really well done. Yeah,
that's really clever. I like the idea of that. Should do that at some point.
Yeah,
that sounds fun. Also, Burnout fans will be pleased because the studio that was made up of ex-Burnout devs have now begun working on a new racing game, and that's Three Fields Entertainment is the name of the developer. Were you ever a Burnout fan?
I was not. I'm not a fan. I was not a fan of racers in general.
At some point, we're going to get to a game you're excited about.
Yeah,
and I can see there is one on here. I'll talk about it in a minute.
I can see it.
So that's happening. Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4.
Yes.
When's it going to happen? Because there was a news article on Push Square that says it's right around the corner.
Yep. Because it was mentioned in
it's a sales call
in the financial call.
But when are they going to do it?
Well, it was
they've got to do it soon. Right?
I mean, the rumor was that it was going to be at Sony's E3 press conference. Then it took away because of the atrocities in America.
Yes,
but
why would that have? I mean, obviously it was awful. But what is the relevance? Why would that be?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was because Sony ended with Days Gone. Didn't they? The zombie game, which was, and they'd already shown it, and it was kind of it seemed like it looks alright, it looks okay. But
demo looked a bit janky, didn't it?
Yeah, having already seen it in the show, have it already announced, and then to say, "Oh, we're going to go back to it and give you," and that's going to be with Closer.
It's almost as weird as them ending on that awful looking MOBA.
Oh, Paragon.
I'm joking. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to be awful, but MOBAs, stop, please.
I feel like there's that other one from Cliffy B. What's that called again? Lawbreakers, is it?
Oh,
something like that.
I don't know.
And I've heard nothing about that.
I've never even heard of it. Full stop.
And it's just, and Paragon's kind of. I'm sure Paragon has a dedicated kind of base at the minute. I mean, it's not finished, is it? It's still in beta.
No.
But.
And then you got Drawn to Death as well.
They've got to stop, Ben. They've got to stop.
It's got to stop. It all starts with shaving Sean Murray's face.
Stop the lies.
That's where the lies are coming from. It's from his face follicles. Yep. And we need to laser them off. Kill the disease at its source. If you take off the head we take off the head of Murray, then all the other snakes will stop.
You can't regenerate if you remove the head.
I don't know what's happening anymore. Finally, Persona 5's European release date has been announced. When is it, Rob?
It's 14th February.
Which also happens to be the US release date.
Yes. Can you imagine?
I cancelled my US pre-order with Amazon.com /video games.
That Amazon.
/ Persona _5 _special _edition _pre-order. .html. So now I can pre-order it from the EU store. Weirdly though, I was having a shop around. It only seems to be on the more niche video game exclusive retailer websites at the moment. I can't actually find it on Amazon. On the UK store, I can't find it, which is very strange. So you can pre-order it, but it seems you can on PS4 you can only pre-order the Steelbook edition or they're both like £50. Either the £50 special Steelbook or the £70. You get a duffel bag and like a plushie that you'll never use. Throw it away. But that's fantastic news.
Yeah, I mean,
not as soon as
Atlas game coming out on the same day as it is in America. Incredible.
The days we live in.
Thanks, Steve Silver.
Yeah,
I've given you a lot of hate in the past, but thanks for that.
Don't they brought a few interesting games to the West.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one now.
Yeah.
You know, they have though. We promise.
But Persona 5 is the big one.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Persona 5.
Oh yeah,
so unbelievably excited.
I mean, that's the JRPG, isn't it? The one.
It's the only one that matters.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15.
Well, there was just adding the little news thing here. There's the rumour that Final Fantasy 15 has been delayed again.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. They can't, can they?
No, surely
they
not.
Can't.
Like, the thing is, there were people in the Push Square comments of that article saying, "Oh, but you've waited 10 years for it. You can wait." And it's like, no, it had a release date. It was 30th September. They had that massive bloody thing in Nevada.
Yeah. You don't want to make a liar out of Greg Miller, do you?
No,
don't make a liar out of Greg Miller.
Don't give him a beard.
No, no, keep the beards out of this. But that's the news. The next feature we're going to be moving on to is 5 PS4K Neo reviews. Sony must make at PlayStation Meeting 2016. So let's move on to that now. Feature time. It's time for the top 5 PS4K Neo reveals Sony must make it PlayStation Meeting 2016. So as we discussed a minute ago, PlayStation Meeting 2016 has been announced. It's in September.
How exciting.
7th of... Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited.
You're buzzing for it. Absolutely
Can't
dead
sit
excited.
still.
This feature comes from... Not because the chair is immensely uncomfortable. Okay. Sammy Barker wrote this, as you might expect, because that's what he does. He writes things. He's got 5 points here.
Yep.
We're going to go through them.
Okay,
First up.
Let's do it.
All in a name. Do you reckon he's got that confused with all in the name? Because that is a well-known phrase.
All in a name makes sense, though.
It makes sense, but I don't know. All in
What's in a name? I probably would have went from.
What's in a name?
What's in a name?
What does that mean?
Like, what is in a name? What's in a name, man?
I've never heard that phrase
You've
before.
never heard what's in a name?
That's new to me. That's a new one to me. Anyway...
That's why I'm the editor, Ben.
Obviously, it's very important that we know what the hell this console is going to be called. We've got PS4K, which is sort of a working title.
Do you not think PS4K is just... It's good, though, isn't it?
I mean, it does the job. It does the job absolutely fine. Neo, obviously, is the development title.
Yep.
The name of it.
The Matrix.
Yes, Mr. Tarrant pointed out, Matrix titles, Morpheus and Neo and so on. I never noticed that before. What would you like it? What's the worst case scenario? What could they call it that would be terrible?
I think what Sammy's pointing out there for PS4.5, because that just sounds like a horrible half step and a kind of like, oh, we're moving forward but not much.
Yeah, please help. I reckon if they called it the PS4 Rebound.
PS4 Beast.
PS4 Elite. Just L33T.
Well, I can't go PS4 Elite because it was the Xbox 360 Elite, wasn't it?
No, I'm not saying Elite, I'm just saying Elite.
Oh, just Elite.
Elite
with the
33T.
Yeah, oh god.
What do you think of that, huh?
I'd buy that day one.
PS4 Mountain Dew Edition. PS4 Chili Dorito Edition.
In the new PS4. Go the Nintendo route and have nobody know what the
and it's
hell is going on.
It's got a little dip dispensary that comes out next to the eject for the disc. Just pops out and you can dip your Doritos in.
They might just call it the PS4 Slim.
They could, if it's any slimmer, yeah.
I imagine it will be. I imagine it'll be a different design.
I'm thinking in my head, if it's more powerful, it's got to be like at least 6 times the size.
I think they've got to show that it's more powerful than the name, though. That's the thing, isn't it? Maybe PS4 Slim.
It doesn't sound very imposing, does it?
Not really.
PS4 Omega.
The Mega PS4.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
PS4 Ultimate.
Oh, God, I hate that. So, I don't know. Anyway, the price is right. It's got to have the right price.
Yes,
obviously. If you were to buy one, how much would you pay for one?
I think I'd... Well, ideally I'd like it to be reasonably cheap, but I feel like they're going to go with the $399, which was the original price point of the PS4.
I mean, that seems okay to me.
I think that seems... I mean, people who are going to upgrade are going to buy it anyway, let's face it. People who want that upgrade are going to buy it, regardless of what price it is. But I do not think Sony are going to go above $399.
Yeah, I think that would be silly.
I think they're pricing... I mean, they've priced PS4 right, they've priced PSVR right. They'll price this right.
What's next for the PlayStation 4? This is obviously the standard PlayStation 4. Why should we upgrade?
That's it, isn't it? That's the question.
Is there going to be anything bad happening if I stick with my original PS4? Or?
Well, I mean, this is it. Like, if you're the kind of person who cares about frame rates and you know, like, if you want... I imagine it'll have things like... Well, I mean, we're going to talk about it in the specifications, which is next, but, you know, better Wi-Fi. Will it have better Wi-Fi? Will it be able to download things faster? Will it have more features? Will it have functionality? I think, but it's like what we were saying before. Sony has to balance. It's a real balancing act. I would not want to be Sony's PR team. How to do this, because it's just,
it's going to be difficult to sell it without being negative towards
like I said, people who want are going to buy it.
Yeah,
simple as that. But you're going to have to convince people that the PS4, it's fine. You can keep your PS4 if you really want it. We're still going to do everything with that. I mean, Sony's already said that it will exist alongside the PS4. You do not need to upgrade, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but if you run The Witcher at 60 FPS,
could be nice. Yeah. Could be nice. I mean, Borderlands looks very nice at 60 frames.
And you've got to imagine every game that Sony's then going to show at E3, at the PlayStation Experience, all this kind of thing, they're all going to be run on PS4K, because why wouldn't they?
And that's what I'm afraid of moving forwards. We're suddenly going to get lesser experiences. Obviously, they're going to have to be better on PS4K anyway.
It needs that original, point, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the original PS4, I'm hoping, does not take a hit because of that. Which I'm afraid it will.
I feel like in terms of games media, at least you're going to get reviews saying tested on PS4K.
Yeah.
Frame rate might be crap on PS4. But I mean, this is the thing, though, isn't it? They're saying that they're still games are going to be developed for PS4 still. Games aren't going to be developed for PS4K. They're going to get a patch or an update that upgrades them if you've got a PS4K.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, that makes sense.
Which is the best way to do it, really, because if you're just going to say, otherwise we're basically playing the porting game, aren't we? Where it's going to be, it's on PS4K, and we're going to have to scale it back to fit it on the PS4.
Yeah.
Which is the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, that's good. That is probably the best way to do it. The specs. I don't know nothing about specs. You know stuff specs? You know spec stuff?
Kind of.
So presumably the specs will be good.
Yeah, what's Sammy got here? 4.2 teraflops in power, which is significantly more than the current PS4, but also less than the Scorpio's promising. Significantly more than current PS4. I've heard that it's almost double the PS4's power.
Really?
Which, I'm not sure how that actually translates into development and how games will perform on it, but it sounds impressive.
Yeah. But again, it doesn't really mean anything to the average consumer.
This is it. Yeah.
So you're going to have to show it.
They'll show games, though. They've got to show games.
I'm really interested to see how they approach this.
Oh yeah, I think that's the most interesting part of it. Is how Sony going to actually deal with it.
And finally, point 5. What does it do?
Yeah.
So what is it? What sets it apart? And again, it all hinges really on showing it in motion, because you don't want to make these big promises, because I'm sure this isn't going to be the case at all, because history wouldn't dare repeat itself. Where they said, with the PSP, it's kind of annoying that you've got to lug all those UMDs around. Well, here's the PSP Go. It's digital only, you don't have to lug any of that stuff around, and then it just died.
Yeah.
They're going to really need to support the crap out of it and make sure that developers actually
utilize it.
Use it, yeah, because you don't want to sell someone a redundant piece of hardware that just plays PS4 games exactly the same as their old PS4. They're going to have to get on these developers and these publishers to make sure that they actually keep their games up to scratch.
I think there's hope to be found in the fact that Sony's doing it at a big event in New York, its own event, its own PlayStation meeting. Same thing as they did when they revealed the PS4.
Yeah.
Sony thinks it's a big deal. It's not just a little... It's like, would they do this for a Slim? Just a standard Slim? Probably not. So I feel like it'll have something that we don't know about yet, and they'll say, this is the selling point, this is the selling point, this is the selling point. And we'll just see how it goes.
And they'll announce the PSP Go 2 as well. To play with your UMDs. Oh, your UMD films as well.
Oh, of course.
You still see those?
Yeah, you do.
Loads
of like
CEX and stuff. Loads of UMD films, which is unbelievable. But there we go. That is the 5 PS4K Neo reveals Sony must make at PlayStation Meeting 2016. About 3 weeks away.
Yep.
So not long to go now until we find out everything that we could possibly want to know about the PS4K. Hopefully. And now, it's time to work out whether Sean Lurie's beard tells truths or lies. We've got Stephen Tailby on to talk about his No Man's Sky review. And now joining us on the phone to talk about No Man's Sky is reviewer Stephen Tailby. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
You been exploring those stars?
I've been exploring so many stars.
And writing those words as well.
Yeah, I've written more words than I've seen stars. But
Have you really?
but there are more stars in No Man's Sky than in my review.
Yes,
Words
it's
and
true.
words.
There are a lot of bloody stars. Now the big question is it worth visiting any of those stars? That's what we want to know, because we've been talking briefly in the news section and things like that about the whole kerfuffle and backlash about whether or not it has multiplayer, and public opinion generally maybe souring a little bit towards the game. But Robert and I have not played it, so could you please explain to us what this game is and your experience with it, good or bad?
Yeah, okay, so basically the game, if you boil it down to its component parts, the game is basically a survival game with resource management and exploration and excuse me. So the other thing that you're going to be doing is documenting creatures as well. So if that's kind of the main few things that you're going to be doing.
Did you find anything really weird looking? Any weird creatures?
Every single creature is the most bizarre thing.
They're all modular, right? So it looks like some
like
horrifying creation. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all a little bit Frankenstein's monster-ish.
Yeah. Did you name anything hilariously, or was it all very respectable, Attenborough-esque?
Impossible.
Yeah,
Here comes
perfect.
the shit monster.
Perfect Latin.
Yeah. Oh god, some people will be playing like that.
Oh yeah.
And they will get to 2 planets and then they'll get bored, because no one that practices Latin legitimately and honestly is gonna want to play this game for more than about 20 minutes.
It's quite a specific
They might have
of players, that isn't it?
There'll be one. There will be
a
one.
very small demographic.
There will be one. So where do you actually start off? Does it sort of begin you randomly in this generated universe, or does every player start? Oh, I assume every player starts in a different place, because otherwise, you'd bump into each other, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and apparently you can't do that.
No, it certainly seems not.
So yeah, it plonks every player down in a unique place within the galaxy. Everyone starts in the same galaxy, but like I said, everyone's on a unique planet. The one I started out on had a toxic atmosphere.
Right, that's great.
It was a really good start. So it just meant that I had another meter to keep on top of.
Excellent.
So yeah, the way the game starts is it basically doesn't really give you much of a backdrop. It just kind of puts you in the game. You've crash landed. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is repair the parts of your ship that are busted, basically.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to be hunting down the resources required to make to repair those bits and pieces. So you just have to go for a walk, basically.
Oh, good.
And
does your player know who they are when they crash land, or is that sort of unwritten, mysterious kind of thing?
Well, this is the thing. You don't really know who your character is, but I think the character does, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But it's never explicitly said, what species you are or anything like that.
Okay.
Excuse me. And the other thing that you'll find immediately is there's, without going into really spoilery stuff, there is one sort of narrative thread that starts at that point. You find this piece of debris which has a sort of red spherical blob. You know the in the logo of No Man's Sky you have
that thing,
that red pulsating thing. You have something that looks very similar to that, and it starts to tell you about the atlas, and you can either opt to follow that or not, and the game will kind of remember that and either introduce that thread later on or not. So there's a few different narrative paths that you can go for, or you can just go wherever the hell you want as well.
Is it fun? Did you enjoy your time with it? Are you enjoying your time with it?
I actually really am. it's slower paced than I was expecting. Because everything that I've seen, and actually it's kind of true that the game does try to continually push you forward and keep you exploring new places, finding new things. But at the same time, it's quite methodical and quite deliberate. So you're going to, just as you're going to want to upgrade your equipment, find new ships, find upgrades for your suit as well, because it starts off with a very small inventory, but you can find pods which where you can purchase more space. And look, just you kind of without even really meaning to, you give yourself objectives that the game has never told you to do, but you just do them because in your own little world you're building your own journey, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Stephen, is it one of those games, like say a Bethesda game, so Elder Scrolls or Fallout, that kind of thing, and if you look into the distance of this open world and you see something really interesting, is No Man's Sky like that? Do you just see things and go off on tangents and go for a wander when you feel like it?
Yeah, definitely. That's basically half the game, is getting distracted. There's most of the time there's quite a few icons on screen, so sometimes you'll see little question marks, and those are points of interest, and they could be abandoned buildings or ruins or
so kind of like dynamic events, that kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah, but they're sort of just static places, and they will have resources or little puzzles in the buildings, maybe, or NPCs that you can interact with, and those are quite interesting because they will have some dialogue, and you won't know any of the words unless you look for these knowledge stones, which will teach you words. And then you have to try and make a judgment call on what exactly the creature wants.
Okay.
So and if you do well, then your standing with those creatures increases, and then they will aid you later on. There's I mean, the other aspect of it is, I mean, you can stand in almost any position on a planet, and you've got a screenshot there, just because they've really captured the aesthetic that they were shooting for. That sci-fi book cover look.
Yeah, that sci-fi kind of thing.
Yeah, they've absolutely nailed that, and also the soundtrack as well complements it perfectly as well.
Is it quite a lonely experience going across the galaxy? Because unlike other games sort of in this genre, be it sci-fi,
yep.
They are pre-made, predetermined, designed, and you will encounter someone there. You will encounter someone there. They will have dialogue, they will have story, they will have quests, they will have something that drives you along. And I know that you bump into aliens that you try to understand, you bump into outposts. But without other players coming in, this is probably one of the few games in existence that is this style of game that has very little player interaction with anything else. So is there something, obviously for you, the motivation beyond personal enjoyment, I assume, is getting the review done, but is the story compelling enough, or is there something that would compel the average player to not necessarily endure, but go along with all the collecting of resources and minerals in order to actually finish the game when they've got no outside encouragement or interference from NPCs or AI or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean that's probably one of the weaker aspects of the game, is that I mean there is no real thing pushing you forwards. It's just kind of your own curiosity. I mean, there are narrative threads. Like I said, there's that whole Atlas thing that shoots off on a tangent, or there's always a path that you can follow on the galactic map, which takes you to the center of the galaxy. So that is one path you can take as well. I think there's one or two others. So there are narrative aspects, but I wouldn't say that there's any kind of real story in a traditional sense for people to latch onto. I think this is the kind of game where you really need to be able to fully invest yourself in it and use your imagination a bit, if that makes sense. But I think it also thrives on people talking about their experiences outside of the game as well. So it's quite anecdotal because and like sharing screenshots as well.
We're going to have to ask Stephen how many screenshots he's taken of this.
I've taken more screenshots in No Man's Sky than I have anything else.
Oh, really?
Should have known.
I did that in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, except I was taking pictures of things like trees. And oh, this tree looks brilliant. I love this bench. And you're taking pictures of amazing generated rock formations and the purple and things.
The purple and things.
Just the purple rock things, you know. It's far more interesting than the park bench that I was looking at. Did you get a chance to see our Overlord King Barker's video or written feature about why No Man's Sky disappointed him so much?
I did have a look, yeah.
And his opinion that he was frustrated at having to do the same thing over and over again. I know we touched on briefly what keeps you motivated to carry on playing, but did you ever experience any fatigue at all while you were playing, thinking, oh god, now I've got to go get another part for my thing, when will this end, when is the next interesting thing that's going to motivate me come along, you know, that kind of stuff? Did you ever feel that while you were playing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I say in my review as well that it can actually be relatively boring if you're if you say you need a particular element to get an upgrade or something like that, and you're going to planet after planet and you just can't find it anywhere, because sometimes that happens. And but the thing is, if you come across something that's just like perfect, because that happened to me once or twice, was you go into a star system and most of the planets are barren or just not very interesting, or there's hardly anything there to do. But then you push on, and then there's this one perfect planet which just has everything that you need, and there's lots of little moments like that which make the game, you sort of feel really relieved and happy that you found this place that's bountiful and it's full of resources that you need, and it's just this like perfect little moment. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what No Man's Sky is. It's a game full of those little moments of just relief and elation that break up the monotony of things, because sometimes you can get bogged down in just traipsing around and mining things and stuff, and if you kind of take yourself out of the game and realize what you're doing, then it is quite a dull loop. Mm-hmm. But when you're in that moment, it's actually a really compelling way to play the game.
Okay. Right.
So when you get invested, you become. I suppose
you feel like you're there, and you feel like it's your journey that you want to complete, because you'd feel like you failed if you didn't.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can we briefly talk about the music? Because a lot of people have been shouting about the music and how amazing it is for this game.
Is it procedurally generated, the music?
I don't think so. It was written by a band. Is that right? I think so.
Yeah, it's written by a band called 65 Days of Static.
There we go.
That's the one.
Yeah. So they've released an album. So presumably there are finite tracks. And I know that with games or large RPGs that have an expanse of exploration, The Witcher is a particular one that stands out to me, because their choice of, apart from in particularly cinematic moments, when music plays in The Witcher seems to be very strange. Like they'll be having a really serious conversation, and just some completely ill-fitting music will just be playing in the background, which seems a bit odd. But usually with larger games, they have these huge soundtracks, instrumental stuff that can go on in the background. Whereas if a band is making an album, and I'm speaking out of complete ignorance here, which is why I'm asking you, but if the album is, say, for example, 12, 14 tracks, do you not hear the same music all the time? Or does stuff play at certain times, or how does that all work?
There are certain things that play at certain moments. So there are journey milestones, which you see quite often, where it'll be things like you've travelled like a certain distance, and then that'll be a milestone in terms of having travelled that distance on foot, and then there'll be a sting that will play. So there are points where you will hear similar things, but Rob's right. It is procedurally generated. It's something else. What they did was they obviously they recorded the soundtrack, and they worked with the sound engineer to break everything down into these tiny little bits, and so you never hear quite the same music at any given time. But I mean, it's all the same kind of flavour, if you know what I mean, because it's always trying to evoke a certain feeling, but it actually works really well. I found that the music suited the situation 9 times out of 10.
Brilliant. It's so clever as well. It's unbelievable what they've managed to achieve.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But Stephen, your review is out now on pushsquare.com. And I say now because we're recording the day before. So it's not out now. We don't know the review score. What did you give it in the end?
I ended up going for a 7.
Okay.
Basically because, I mean, to be honest, it was a close call between an 8 and a 7. I think that the general gameplay loop, like I said, it's not super interesting and it's quite simplistic. The combat is not great. It's pretty simple, and it's just not that interesting to do. So I ended up avoiding combat if I could, just because I'd rather be carrying on, or you know what I mean. But I think that what Hello Games set out to achieve, they completely have. Making a game that is, bona fide sci-fi, evokes those feelings of, classic science fiction novels, and I just think that generally they've come up trumps with it. I just think that there are a couple of small gameplay things that could be touched upon. Also, the other problem that I had was it crashed a few times as well. Yeah, so that kind of took me out of the experience, which was a little bit disappointing. But yeah, generally it's a really good little game. I say little, but it's huge.
Bloody massive. Bloody massive game. So review up now, pushsquare.com. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So it's time for Indie Bin.
Hooray!
Part of the show.
Oh, I interrupted you.
Wait.
Just ruined
Yeah, you ruined it, mate. F***ed
it.
Do you know what? I'm just gonna hang up.
Just carry on.
Again.
Just carry on.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. You can carry on going.
God's sake. But yeah, time for Indie Bin, part of the show where we take a look at a recently released independently developed game and see if it's Indie Bin or not Indie Bin.
Not D-Bin.
Not D-Bin.
How are things, Tarrant? Where are you?
Yeah, in case you haven't realised, I'm not sitting next to Ben, as I normally do. I'm actually in Menorca, part of the Balearic Islands in Spain, sunning myself, but I have come on just for you guys to talk about Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Blessed, absolutely.
No, I am
Hashtag blessed.
so thoughtful.
Are you burned?
I wasn't like the first day I burnt my eyelids and everything, but I'm...
Your eyelids?
Christ.
Yeah, man. Don't fall asleep in the sun. Classic British mistake. But I'm suitably brown now, so...
Excellent. Tell me about this game, Tarrant. What is it?
It's hard to pin down, if in a nutshell, but imagine Zelda, but give it a super kind of sci-fi twist,
Okay.
a wicked soundtrack,
Yeah.
bit more blood and violence, and no tangible, or at least like spoon-fed story, and you kind of got Hyperlight Drifter.
Okay.
So it's a kind of combat-heavy RPG where you're exploring this world that's split up into 5 sections. You've got the kind of home world base section that's in the center, and then you've got north, south, east, and west areas, each with their own respective bosses. And you just you have to puzzle solve and explore and defeat like rooms of enemies, and then you can move on. It sounds a bit formulaic, but it's distributed incredibly well, and it's like all done in a pixel art design.
Right.
Which is incredibly gorgeous. It is so picturesque for a pixel art game. It's insane. I mean, my current background on my laptop and my Twitter header is all Hyperlight Drifter at the moment because it's just so cool.
What a nerd.
I know. Boy. Nerd. I've just really enjoyed it. I've been really excited for it. It had a Mac and PC release a while ago, and it only just came to PS4 on my birthday, 26th of July.
Yeah, did you have a good birthday?
Yeah, it was alright. It was relaxed. Didn't do too much. You got me that awesome canvas, which has been up on my wall, that we unwrapped last episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exciting. But yeah, it was cool. It's cool. Just
Excellent.
like casual family time. But yeah, Hyperlight Drifter. There's like, you know how Dark Souls doesn't give you any story?
Yeah,
more or less.
Not easily.
Yeah, this gives you Zippo. It doesn't even give you text. Like, text is in another language. It took me ages just to work out the currency. It's
really?
so, yeah, like, it's really weird because you'd find these things and they'd flash into a square of 4. And when you collected 4, it gave you another yellow square. Turns out that they're essentially quarters. So you need 4 quarters to make a whole coin. And then you use the coin, you can, like 3 coins unlocks a new move kind of thing. Wow. So it's a really weird currency, but you have to work that out, and you can unlock new kind of moves, so like a powerful slash that cuts people in half. Like I said, it's quite violent. It's quite almost gory in pixel art,
right.
Which is it's really unexpected actually, but it really works with it. I've only managed, it's long as well for an indie game, and for what seems like a small game, like I said, there's only 4 areas, but it's actually really quite long. I played 5 hours, and I've only fully done 1 area.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's really meaty, and to get the platinum, because I'm being a bit of a platinum hunter now, trying to go above 2, because we did the Resogun.
Whoa, slow down, mate.
Slow down, because we did the Resogun the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, you actually need to complete the whole game without dying, which seems feasibly impossible, but I've heard you can do New Game Plus, so I'm assuming once you kind of stack up your character and do all the RPG elements, you'll be beefed up enough to kind of breeze through it.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no kind of tangible story to it, which is actually really good because it feels like a post-apocalyptic, like something's wiped everything out and there's just bad guys everywhere now, and you've got to find out why. Cool. The opening cinematic is quite explosive and quite kind of, there's a lot going on, but none of it's explained. So you're kind of playing the game, what feels like to explore that.
Right. Well, it sounds pretty insane. Is it on? Is it just PS4? Or is it Vita or?
You can remote play it on Vita, but to be honest, I really wouldn't. My biggest gripe with it is that it needs to be fluid. Like, you need the combat, you need to play it fluidly, and there's a lot of button pressing and a lot of kind of combos. And if you screw a combo, that's it. You're going to get absolutely mulched.
Right.
And I just don't think it would translate very well to the Vita because there's a lack of buttons that are used actively on the controller. I know you can map it, but I just don't think it would feel as right because it feels quite cumbersome on the DualShock. So can't imagine what it would feel like on a Vita, which is a shame because it's the kind of game that I would love to play on the move.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's quite Zelda-y, and the whole RPG element to it feels like there's some. You'd want to play it on the move, and it would look really good on the Vita.
Right.
But,
yeah, I thought so. How much?
I'd stick to it on PS4. I got it for like $9.35 because it had a launch discount of like 25%, but I believe it's $12.99 full price.
That's not bad, is it?
Which do you know what? If this was 20 quid, it's way worth it. If you like those kind of games, if you ever played Zelda, if you like good kind of thought-provoking RPGs, this is such a kind of palate cleanser compared to a lot of games out there at the moment. and it's really nice to see pixel art done in a really kind of serious way, not a jovial way.
Yeah.
Like this is, it's like I said, it's an adulty kind of game. It's really cool, and the soundtrack is by Disaster Piece. It's super good. It's really synthy, ambient, atmospheric. You can get that on Bandcamp at the moment as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I downloaded that. It's really cool. There's I Am 8-Bit doing a big vinyl collection for it as well, which would be
cool.
Awesome. That's very expensive.
Is Bandcamp is that the free one, or do you pay money for Bandcamp?
It's some people set it up so that you can pay whatever you want. I think you can pay $5 and you get it.
Right.
Which is really good. But yeah, Heart Machine did this, so I think it's their debut title as well. So
excellent. Graham Bannis gave it a 9 out of 10 on Push Square. That was the review.
Yeah.
What's its fate?
Agree.
Not that we really need to guess.
It's out. It's got to be out the bin.
It's out the bin.
It's
JPEG.
I've still got to design that.
You do. You should do it on holiday.
Should. Well, work while I'm away.
Don't do that.
But not only is it out the bin, but I'd say it's up there with like top 5 game of the year.
Oof.
Easy.
Look at that.
Easy.
It's the best result for an indie bin title.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's the best indie bin title we've talked about, 100%, except Firewatch.
Look at that. Amazing. Well, Ben, thank you so much for calling in while you're on your holiday.
No, thanks for having me. And thanks for standing in, Robert.
No problem.
He's doing a terrible job. So
Yeah,
I bet.
Absolutely.
It's okay, guys. I'll be back soon.
Thanks a lot, Ben.
No worries.
Bye, Ben. Enjoy.
It's time to talk about the games, what we have done a play of recently in Times.
Done a lot of playing, Ben?
I've done plenty of playing, Rob. Do you want to talk about what you're playing first?
Okay, well, I can't talk about what... I can't talk about what I'm playing.
Can you say... You're allowed to say you're reviewing it, right? You can say that you're... You just can't talk about it at all.
Yeah, I can't...
You can mention it in passing, surely. No, is it... Right, okay. Let me
yeah, come on.
Right.
Let's be clever.
You do not need to talk about the game at all. You just need to say, I am reviewing this game. And that is what I've been playing. Are you even allowed to say that?
Yeah, I can, because I can be online.
Surely, right? Because people can see that you're playing.
I am playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided on PS4.
And that's it.
Yes,
that's all we're
saying. You're not getting nothing else, Potter.
Yep. All right. I don't want anything else. Quite frankly, I don't care. Review coming some point soon.
Yes.
So there we go. That was fascinating. Thank you for sharing.
And well,
do you play other games?
Destiny. You've been playing Destiny.
You've been playing Destiny. Okay. All right. You're the guy. You're the guy. Still doing those dances.
Yep. Still doing the dances.
Still doing the dance step. Destiny's dance.
The thing is, you know light levels, don't you, Ben? Do you know light levels?
I got to the light levels and I thought, well, this is just nonsense. And then I put it down.
Yes, okay. The current cap on light levels is 335, and you get to that by finding...
I thought the level cap was 30. Have they increased that?
The level cap is 40, but the light level cap is like... It's the average of what your gear is. You're right there, Ben. Just utter despair on your face.
Just struggling to comprehend.
Anyway,
yeah.
So light level cap 335, I'm at 334. The expansion comes out on September the 20th. I want to get the 335 because I've got this horrific compulsion to do so. And I'm supposed to be doing the raid tonight. On the night this is recorded.
Oh, damn. Who are you raiding with?
Oh, potentially the man himself, Alex Stinton.
No.
Yes.
The myth, the legend.
Uh-huh.
Some say he went into hiding after his last appearance on the Push Square podcast. We haven't been able to find him since. Does he still linger among the stars?
Oh, I mean, well, we've got.
Is he hiding in Sean Murray's beard?
A Push Square, potentially. I mean, it could be big enough by now.
He's not a liar, so no, he wouldn't be hiding. Liar's Cove.
Liar's Forest. Forest of Lies.
Traitor's Expanse.
Embedded upon his face. But... No, we've got this Destiny chat on the PS4, which is like a text chat for people generally people in Push Square.
Okay.
And it's called Destiny Twats.
Oh.
And
okay.
and you just popped up and we're saying we can do the raid tomorrow. Do you want to do the raid? Do the raid. And then Alex Stinton popped up saying I could be up for it. I was like,
this guy...
We've been blessed with his presence.
Unbelievable. Look, if you want a level 20 guy who can't remember how to play, then you just say the word.
The problem is, though, Alex Stinton's only a light level 298. So if he holds us back, he's getting kicked.
He's out. He is out. He's going to be banished.
The big boys
banished to the beard. Beard banished. Just gone. You know, Tarrant quite likes Destiny. I don't think he's played it in a while.
Oh yeah. I remember Tarrant liking Destiny.
Yeah. Because you all helped me out with a video, didn't you? That video I did ages ago.
Where you hit with sparrows. That's nice of you.
Yes, yeah, for the a gentleman's cooperative etiquette for Destiny.
It was a good video.
Thank you.
Go check it out. PushSquare.com.
Yeah, it's still there.
Thing.
2,000 views.
Yes.
Not worth it.
But what have you been playing, Ben? Come on.
Well, I've got a friend staying at the moment. He's a total idiot, and he's sitting on the sofa behind us, and he keeps making noises.
Same with
Yeah, he's doing rude gestures as well. So he's sort of guest producing at the moment, in a way. We've been playing through a couple... He played through Soma, and I watched him play through Soma, because I'm a coward and I'm scared of horror games. And it has an absolutely fascinating story.
Thank you.
An absolutely fascinating story.
See, you liked it.
Yeah, see? He's been talking about it for ages. He won't shut up about it. So he played it, and I watched it, and it is really, really interesting. Really bloody atmospheric and a bit spooky, though, so... be prepared, but yeah, really good.
Soma, the one that I've heard about, that's kind of like it's a bit of a walking sim, a bit like exploration sim.
Right, my friend described it as a walking simulator where stuff happens.
Okay, but I heard that there's you've got to hide from monsters.
Yeah, and the monsters
I've heard that that's people's gripe with the game. If you didn't have to interact, if you didn't have to.
Yeah, the monsters outstay their welcome a bit, don't they? Okay. They just sort of hang around for quite a while longer than they really should when you're trying to move through an area. They're a bit horrifying looking though.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a really interesting premise, a really interesting idea, and I thoroughly enjoyed experiencing it. But apart from that, I did a live stream last night of an amazing walking sim called The Park, which is out now on PlayStation 4.
I've heard of this.
It's £6.50 if you want to buy it, and it is about a mother who goes to an amusement park and loses her son. But as soon as she arrives in the park, she has like a blackout. There's no one else there anyway. It suddenly goes to nighttime, and clearly everything is not as it seems. And she starts to unravel mentally. And it's absolutely terrible, but just in the best way. And it's an hour and a half long, and it is so funny for all the wrong reasons, and I think people should play it.
Is it scary in the least?
Just jump scary.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes you feel like absolutely terrified. Yeah. It's just like, oh, weren't expecting that. But there was an amazing moment where we turned around, and there's basically you go into this corridor where there's a dead end and there's something at the end. And we tried to back away, and we were walking into something. We couldn't turn around, so we're like, right, okay, so there's something behind us. We turned around, and we could turn around really far, and we could see it. It was like a cardboard cutout that was behind us. Mm-hmm. And we thought, okay, we can see that's there. This is not frightening. And then we just span around for a bit. And then we turned to look directly at it, and it went, duh! It's like, wow, that is amazing. 10 out of 10. That is amazing. Also, the sensitivity is automatically set to 3, which is really fast, and it goes up to 10, which is just unplayable. So I just don't understand. It's amazing. I can't really do it justice, but yeah, that's what I've been playing recently, and I think everyone else should go and play The Park, or at least look it up, because it's just incredible. But there we are. That's what we're playing. We're now going to move on to a few audience questions.
Oh God.
First up, it's Lieutenant Fatman. He asks, with Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII and System Shock all being remade from scratch for PS4, if you had to choose a classic game from over 15 years ago to get the same treatment, what would it be?
It's specifically over 15 years ago.
Yeah, let's say 90s, a 90s game. Crash Team Racing.
I would go for HD, fully remade Crash Team.
I want
any day.
Competent car racer, and I want Crash Team Racing because it's the best game.
Agreed.
It is the best game.
Was Crash Team Racing better than Mario Kart, Ben?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yep.
Better than Mario Kart 64?
Yep.
Around about the same time?
Yep.
I'd agree.
Crash Team Racing was better than Mario Kart, and you can all shove it.
The characters in Crash Team Racing, come on. Dingodile.
Yes.
Tiny Tiger.
Neocortex.
Out of my way! And you had so many you had fake Crash as an unlockable character, these big eyebrows.
You could unlock all of the bosses as well.
Incredible.
Engine. Just terrible names. Papu, yeah. The Pinstripe guy, the Pinstripe Weasel guy.
Is his name Pinstripe?
No, I may well be actually, just called Pinstripe.
I can't remember his name.
It's like a stoat or something.
Yeah.
My character was Pura. I always used to play as Pura or Pura.
Oh yeah, the little tiger.
The tiger, yeah, because she had like mad handling. Not very fast, but like.
Oh, because you could do the, I believe it's a Mario Kart term, but you could do snaking in that game, couldn't you? Where you drift from one side of the track to the other.
Oh yeah,
and back again.
And you get boost,
yeah.
If you were that good, and they all had shortcuts. Every map had a shortcut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good game.
It's a very intricate kart race, and the whole story mode and
story mode and an adventure mode and stuff.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant game.
I think that's a very good pick.
We need that back.
I would go for. I know Final Fantasy VII's on there, but Final Fantasy IX, I'd go for a remake.
Oh, I like Final Fantasy IX remake. I'm waiting for that Steam port.
Oh yeah.
Whenever they do that, because I remember very fondly Final Fantasy IX as well, but I never finished it. So I do want to. I've got it over there as well. I do have it. I just never played it. So that's a good shout. Next up is King Barker. He asks, "What are your expectations for the PlayStation meeting in September?" So this is the PS4K. Honestly, not much, because if they're just going to talk about PS4K, then it's not going to really be for me. But I am interested in the subject, how they approach it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd say I'm in the same boat. Just excited to see how they handle it.
Yeah,
which is the bottom line, really. And I'm as for expectations, I expect it to be reasonably short, snappy, to the point. I mean, 45 minutes. I could see it. I can see that.
It doesn't need to be long.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be long. They just need to basically run down the 5 points, as Sammy said. What is it? How much is it? What's its name? Put to rest any doubts over the future of the normal PS4.
Yep.
And say, here's what it looks like. This is how it works.
I think the thing we've got to remember is that Sony's hardly put a foot wrong this generation.
Yet.
This is it. This is it. You never count on it. But I don't see them screwing this up, to be honest. After everything they've done, and
they've done well so far.
Yes, very well.
We will see how they get on in a couple of weeks' time. Next up, this is Dodu. I don't really know how you pronounce it. Dodu. How would you pronounce that? Or is it doo-doo, literally?
It might be doo-doo if we're just saying it's do and then do.
Yeah. That makes no sense at all, what you just said. He wants to know if I'm related to Harry. No.
Harry who?
Presumably Potter.
Never heard him.
Does he... And if not, does he hate having that surname? No, not really. I was here before Harry was. I don't give a crap. I would be more frustrated if I was my brother. One of his middle name is Harry. Because, you had to put it in there somewhere. But no, I don't care. I don't care about that. Do you care about being called Ramsey? No. After Gordon Ramsay?
That's the thing.
Different spelling.
It's AY, isn't it? So, but I've had people spell my name AY since I was...
Yeah, I think I've done it a couple of times as well. I have to check every time. It's like, which one is it again? I can't bloody remember. So awkward. Just RAMSEE. Ramsey would be really helpful. Just make things a lot easier. Finally, Rudy Manchego.
What a name. What a fantastic name.
Random question. You are having an epic all-day gaming session with mates. What are the snacks, nibbles, beverages of choice? If anyone calls hummus, I call them a liar.
Does Sean Murray
hummus
get his hummus out when he
smears the hummus in the beard?
Oh god, it feels so good in my beard.
Moisturise the beard hummus.
Oh, fertilise the lies.
Fertilise,
fantastic. There's a tagline for you.
You just got fertilized to. Doesn't work as well, but yeah, I actually do like hummus. If you get hummus and you get salted tortilla chips, that's a really good combination. I like that. But it's not a gaming food. Also, I don't like to snack while I'm eating.
That's the thing. I mean, I love snacking on things like Doritos and this press sneak.
With Mountain Dews, is it Mountain Dew? Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I do it while I'm reviewing my games.
Yes, well, you have to. Wearing your uniform of entirely donated clothes from events.
But in a house built up of promo boxes.
Jewel cases.
Yeah. I'd like to eat Doritos and stuff, but you get the bloody like it's like Oreos as well. You get that bloody.
I like to snack while I'm gaming.
Yeah.
I like to game until I'm literally starving, and then just gorge, throw up.
That's kind of what
like
I
a
do.
Roman, and then come back. You know. But if I were to prepare those kind of snacks, you're right. I really
With mates.
I do like Doritos. Doritos are great. And so is Mountain Dew. And you can buy both. A dual combo pack at Tesco for only £1.50 for both. No, not really. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's a great...
That's decent value.
It's a great supermarket, Robert. So I do like that, though. Something sweet. I'm a sucker for the deli section of a supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Scotch eggs, and I like the pork pies and sausage rolls. I do like that a lot. So probably get some of that. Maybe.
I think when I'm buying myself biscuits... Because biscuits, you've only got to deal with the crumbs, you know.
Oh, I've got some biscuits you would love. I've got to give you a biscuit. Right. In France, they sell, because I've just been on holiday to France, they sell white chocolate covered Oreos, where it's just a normal Oreo, but they drip it in white chocolate and then package it up. Yeah. It's amazing. I've got one in the fridge, you can have it.
Oh, Ben.
Only £1.50, so it's fine. And he continues, sorry to hear Mr. Tarrant can't dial in from Skegness. Still, at least we won't have any Uncharted bashing this week. What do you think of Uncharted?
I love Uncharted.
Good, lads. Good.
What do you think of Uncharted, Ben?
I hate it. There must always be one.
Thoroughly hate it.
No, I love Uncharted. I think it's brilliant.
Is that the spirit of Tarrant possessing you then?
Yeah. But there we go. If you have any questions for us, you can ask them in the Push Square forums. We're under the online and community section, sticky right to the top. And also, as I said last week on the show, you can also email me, ben@pushsquare.com. Might as well, if you have any feedback that way as well. And
we can check the watch this topic box when you want to reply. Yeah. You'll get an email whenever we post.
It's right at the bottom of the forum thing.
Incredible.
You can just do
such
that.
Technology.
Wow.
Next gen.
Much advanced. But there we go, that's the questions. Let's move on to the end of the show.
So, coming up, pushsquare.com is Deus Ex Mankind Divided review.
Oh my god.
Oh, Bound review.
What is that? You'll find out next week.
Gamescom, of course, is coming up.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Gamescom.
So it's going to be a lot of news coming out of Gamescom. Even though Sony doesn't have a conference, but
I'm sure. Are they doing Press Games Week this year? PGW
potentially. But I don't know. They've got the PlayStation meeting and then the Experience.
Yeah, I suppose it kind of.
We'll see what they've got.
Yeah.
And I think Sammy's going to do some sort of PlayStation VR launch lineup list.
Oh.
Which is a mouthful, but I'm sure that'll be fun.
Yeah, he's also written that if we mention it on the podcast, he's got to do it because we've now mentioned it and it's out there.
Sorry, Sammy. I didn't read that. I didn't read that far ahead, Sammy.
We just made work for him.
Forgive me.
But if you want to find us at Push Square, obviously it's pushsquare.com, but you can also follow us on Twitter at Push Square, facebook.com/Push Square, and if you want to see rather than read because you're lazy like me, you can go to youtube.com/Push Square where you can find streams, vlogs, reviews, and other video form shenanigans. And where would they like to go, Robert, if they would like to hear more from us? Because I've messed up reading that.
Oh, so well, Push Square podcast can be found on SoundCloud, Stitcher,
oh my god,
iTunes.
Whoa.
And
you can do it, come on. It's right there in front of you.
An honest review of our hard work, and this is hard work. It's sweating in here, isn't it, Ben? It's hot.
You're nervous. These seats aren't the most comfortable, and they're pretty.
I might fall off this at any point.
They're balmy.
So your honest reviews would be very much appreciated.
There we go.
They help Ben sleep at night.
They do. I live off them, so I need them. So make sure you keep it locked to pushsquare.com, the best PlayStation site on the internet. And if anyone tells you otherwise, you can punch them in the face, and that's a rule. There we go. That was probably the least smooth outro that we've ever done. But thank you for coming on the show, Robert. Now that you're relatively close, I think we're going to try and bring you on a bit more frequently. Particularly,
and that's all the reviews just say. Who's this?
Who's this bastard? Particularly if you've reviewed something that we want to talk to you about, you might as well just come out. Just sit in the corner. Just pop up in a half an hour and come and join us. But thank you very much, man.
It's been a pleasure, Ben.
And thank you for listening, everybody else.
Thank you for listening to the Push Square Podcast. For the latest PlayStation news, reviews, and features, visit www.pushsquare.com.